All right, so you've got your business account set up, you've claimed your website, you're creating awesome pins, and fingers crossed, your audience is really digging what you're putting out there. But how do you know? How do you really know if it's all Pinterest effort that's paying off? The answer lies in dun 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 Pinterest analytics. So, where do you find all of the analytics and how do you use them to figure out if your Pinterest is working for you? So, what's all this impressions nonsense? If you're not a big fan of numbers, hearing words like impressions, engagements, outbound clicks might make you want to run and hide. But hang in there because understanding your Pinterest metrics is actually super important for making sure that your content is hitting the mark and that your business is getting noticed, right? We're not on Pinterest for fun. Well, I like to go onto Pinterest for fun, and you may like to go onto Pinterest for fun. But if we're going to be marketing your business with Pinterest, then we need to understand the numbers. So let's make this easy peasy, shall we? Pinterest Analytics, the lowdown. So, where the heck do I find all of this stuff? Well, first, you're going to open up your Pinterest account. I recommend on desktop because you can see everything all at once right there. Make sure that you're logged into your business account. When you're on your Pinterest business account, you're going to click the Business Hub on the far left. Okay, so you're looking at analytics. Now what? It might feel a bit overwhelming at first, but don't panic because I promise that you don't need a math degree to figure this out. Pinterest Analytics is really all about tracking how your pins are performing so that you can do more of what is working on Pinterest and then do little tweaks here and there to make it even better. So the basic pin stats are as follows. Let's basically start simple and talk about what each of these numbers mean. Impressions, the number of times that folks lay eyes on your pins. When you go to Pinterest and you search for something, the pins are pulled up. Now it could be 5 pages down. So we don't really know. Impressions means that your overall pin information has made it to a specific search or searches on Pinterest, and they're pulled up in the analytics. But we don't know what page your account is on, so it's really a very big overarching number. Next are pin clicks. Now, pin clicks are very simple. If someone goes to their Pinterest feed, because Pinterest loves to give inspiring pins on your home feed, that's called the feed. And if someone clicks on a pin in their feed or in a search, at least on desktop, you'll have the image on the left and your title and your description over on the right. That's a pin click. Basically, how many times people click on your pins in a search or their feed to get the full scoop of what's going on. Saves. How many people love your pins enough to save them to one of their boards? Now, saves are great because it gives an indication to Pinterest that your pin is valuable. But what it doesn't tell us, as we're looking at it as business owners, is if it was saved for inspiration, but they're going to go do something on their own with it, or if it was saved to a board because they want to come back to it and then actually work with you. So it's a good indication that people are taking action, and it's an amazing way for Pinterest to know that your pins are resonating. So when you get impressions, and then when you get pin clicks, and then when you get saves, Pinterest is like, this chick knows what she's doing, and we're going to send some more traffic to her. Profile visits. This is how many times people get curious after seeing your pin, whether they've clicked through to your blog or your content or not. They have then taken the step to click directly through to your profile. So on the pin, we have our little profile down at the bottom of that pin, and people click on it to go to our Pinterest profile account. Followers. How many new followers you have snagged thanks to your awesome pins that you've been pinning. Reactions. How many people showed some love for your pins? Think likes, hearts, those types of things. Comments, the number of comments left on your pin. And in my professional opinion, outbound clicks. These are the money clicks. These are the clicks that tell you that your content is resonating on Pinterest and they've actually driven people directly to your content, whether that's your blog post or your website or your services or whatever. Outbound clicks are how many people clicked on the link in your pin or clicked on your pin to head over to your website. People are trained on Pinterest to know that 99% of pins out there, when you click on them, they're going to go somewhere else and give you more information on what that pin has to do. And now let's talk about video views, because if you are sharing your video pins, then you've got a few extra stats to keep an eye on. If you are wanting to judge all your video pins and decide which of those video pins are performing the best, then you want to understand these analytics. Video views. How many times folks have watched your video? Could be a couple seconds, could be the entire time that the video shows, but it's actually how many times people have watched your video, opened it or clicked on it to start playing. Then there's the 10-second play. How many times has your video been watched for at least 10 seconds? That means people are not just watching it, but at least somewhat interested, right? It's not for a second and they're like, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. This means people were actually interested in that content. And then average play time. How long folks watched your video on average. And so if you're looking at all your video pins and there's a larger average playtime on one of those pins, then you want to make another pin that is similar either to the type of video it is or the keywords that you've used or the subject matter. Understanding the bigger picture, here's where things get extra interesting. Pinterest Analytics also tracks data over time, helping you to see the big picture of how your pins are performing. So total audience, that means the total number of people who have seen or interacted with one of your pins or all of your pins. Monthly views, how many times your pins have popped up on screens in the last 30 days. Again, we don't know if that's on the first page of the search or the 15th page of the search, but at least it's popped up, which means Pinterest understood your keywords and is showing your pin to a certain group of people. Conversion insights. It shows how your Pinterest efforts are impacting things like website visits and sales. The metrics that really matter. So let's be real. When it comes to growing your business on Pinterest, two things should really be your focus. Pin clicks, how many people are just clicking on those pins, and outbound clicks, which I explained earlier, but basically that's your money click. That's people that have gone directly through to your website or your content, wherever that is. These two numbers really tell you if your pins are doing their job. All those other fancy metrics at the top, impressions, engaged audience, etc., are what Pinterest cares about. So keep those growing if you want Pinterest to send more eyeballs your way. So we need to satisfy the marketing clicks, which are those pin clicks and the outbound clicks, but we also want to be monitoring all of the analytics that they care about, like impressions and saves. Change is the only constant. Pinterest, like all social media, is always evolving. New features, disappearing features, algorithm updates. It could really feel like a whirlwind. So don't stress too much. Just remember to focus on what you want out of Pinterest and track those numbers that help you reach those goals. I have a Pinterest analyzer. It's basically a Google spreadsheet that can help you track all of the numbers that really matter, because over time, it really helps if you are wondering why your analytics are starting to go down this month. Then you can look back at this time last year and know, oh, this is a month that all my numbers drop a little bit. Everyone's going to have seasonality with numbers, and it's kind of like a roller coaster. It is never going to be up, 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 up. That's, of course, what we are trying to accomplish by looking at our analytics and tweaking our strategy or tweaking the way that we put content out in the world. But it is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. And it's really helpful to be able to look back on last year's numbers and understand that maybe this is a slow time of our season throughout the year. The other thing to note too is that summer is the time when typically, unless you're a summer brand for like, beach accessories, summer is going to be the time typically that is lower because people are not on their phones as much. The weather is warm, people are outside doing things, experiences, and you're not on your phone as much. So if you want that Pinterest analyzer, just go to thepinterestqueen.com/resources and you can snag that for free, plus all the other tools that I have on there for you. Need help demystifying Pinterest analytics? If all this data talk has your head spinning, and you want even more personalized help, consider my Pinterest Strategy Club. There's 3 live phone calls, 3 hours a month where I'm live helping you, sharing my screen, having you share your screen, and helping you solve any problems that you might have with analytics, with strategy. You can find that at pintereststrategyacademy.com/PSC. Happy pinning, my friends.